our machine learning right now is not allowing us into the market.
I think that by now we've talked about this so much that we kind of expect the rate hikes, and all this is just kind of expected. We're kind of getting used to it, or some of us are maybe even getting numb to it. But I think a lot of us are curious, though. What does this mean for the AI? Like, what is our AI doing, and how is it interpreting this data? And more specifically, the question is on the screen here. What has to happen for the AI to get long again in the market?
This is kind of one of those, first of all, that is the exact right question. I'm glad you asked it because that's what we talked about prior.
That's
But
what I do around here. Right?
well, there's certain questions that matter. Our machine learning algorithms had us out for most of last year. Obviously, that served us well. It served us well because the market, of course, the S&P 500 was down in excess of 19%, and we were down obviously quite a bit less on our main models in the area of 4%. This year has been a different story. The S&P is up around 7% on the year, or 6.8%. And we, on the other hand, are down about 1%. Why? Because our machine learning right now is not allowing us into the market. The machine learning, remember, is being trained on information. It's always learning. And the information it trains on is information that comes in generally within 2 weeks to 30 days after the fact. And that's how we trained it. And that's how it's been able to make decisions in the past that have worked out in our favor in most cases, but not in every case. What's going on this year is a very, very slow grind higher, where the market, as most pundits will notice, wants to go higher. And algorithmically, there are signals that show us in the market, but they are being rejected by the machine learning algorithm portion of iFlip's technology. And that portion is looking at a few things that it just simply does not like. So here's what they are and why we're not getting into the market, and what would it take for us to get in the market. A rate cut would certainly do it. A rate pause would not. A relaxation of credit expansion. Credit has been expanding at a very high rate, as have credit defaults. There is a huge amount of credit defaults occurring on credit cards, and there are huge amounts of defaults on auto loans. Those two components, I suspect, because they're the components that stand out in when the machine learning looks at information, it uses certain information and it tells me that this is the information that provided me this best return. So we know to feed it that information, and then we just look for other information that might even enhance that further. That information, which has worked in what the machine learning has been trained on, is currently keeping us out of the market. And by the way, on an algorithmic basis, I can tell you that we would have only been in the market about 1.9% lower than we are now if it was an algorithm. And it's our machine learning that says, no, don't even go in now. So I feel to get in, it wouldn't take much, but it would take a reduction in interest rates. The Fed funds rate being cut by 25 basis points would do the trick. And the other thing that would happen that could cause it is if all of a sudden credit card expansion, the more likely element, started to decline.